Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
It is officially Christmas week, 9:02 on this 18th day of December. It's a Monday morning right here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV, anywhere, everywhere you get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in and making it such a great year. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. This is my last week of live shows. We decided because, people do best ofs and they run replays normally at the end of the year. I thought, why don't we do a hybrid? So we have brand new interviews coming next week. It'll feel just like a live show, but with a little bit of best of the year kind of intermixed in a hybrid version. So I'm really excited for that, to go from the new interviews and replay some of the fun stuff from the year and really just wrap up the year on a great note. And I was able to get some Christmas shopping done this weekend, and all I can say is I may or may not have had too much fun on a Saturday, but you'll have that. We've recovered well, and we're recovering well with some great guests today. Coming up on the show, we're talking to Steve Traube with Traube Tents and Structures. This is really cool. This is an extension of Traube Awning, which has been in business for almost 100 years. I think they're 95 years in business at Traube Awning. But Traube Tent and Structures is a little bit of a different launch of Traube Awning. So we're going to get the latest on some of the stuff they do and just some insights on a really cool business. Then at 10:30, we're going to be talking to the Madison County Mental Health Board and Deborah Humphrey, along with one of their facility or one of their program leaders and coordinators. They have some really good stuff going on in local school districts in terms of mental health support and awareness, and really teaching and helping some young kids. So we're going to get the latest on that in ways that, if, so many of you from various districts watch the show, if they aren't a part of your school district, ways that you can utilize their services for yours. So all that comes down the pipeline today in this 2 hours of fun. But in the meantime, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update and you'll stay up to date. Hey, look at our events page. I took care of you for New Year's Eve. Everything that's happening for New Year's Eve is on the RiverBender.com events page. And I hope that you utilize that just as well as you utilize your daily email update. But at 9:04 from Granite City, the Granite City Police Department's Investigative Division, along with the Madison County Sheriff's Office, did execute a search warrant on December the 13th in the 1600th block of Poplar Street in Granite City. Granite City Police said at this time the following individual was taken into custody and identified as Ron L. Lott, 49 years of age, of the 1600th block of Poplar Street in Granite. He was charged with the following: unlawful possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine, a Class 1. Count 2, unlawful possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine, and another 3 counts of unlawful possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine. Lott was also charged in a second case by the Madison County State's Attorney's Office with the following count, and that's unlawful possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, a Class X felony that's punishable by 12 to 50 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. That's an enhanced charge. Lott's warrants were presented to Honorable Judge Slimmer, and he was remanded to the custody of the jail of the Madison County Sheriff's Department. Lott is considered to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and no further information will be disclosed regarding either case against the individual. Dan Brannon reporting out of Wood River that the Wood River Police Department utilized an ILEAS tactical response team to execute a search warrant in the 500th block of North Wood River Avenue at 8:30 a.m. on December the 15th. The search warrant was executed on the address due to an undercover drug investigation that was being conducted by the Wood River Police Department Street Crimes Unit. 4 people were removed from the home during the search warrant, Police Chief Brad Wells said. He continues, all were taken into custody and transported to the Wood River City Jail. As a result of the search warrant, the investigation is in the preliminary stage. Any criminal charges sought against those will be presented to the Madison County State's Attorney's Office. Wells did continue and say the illegal use of drugs and sale of illegal drugs are problems every community will face, endangering the health and safety of abusers and those who live around them. The Wood River Police Department is committed to protecting our community by being proactive and maintaining the quality of life for those who work, live, and or visit the city of Wood River. Chief Wells said he does appreciate those in the community who support their efforts and report criminal activity in their neighborhoods to the police department. Any reports of criminal activity can be reported to their dispatch center at 618-251-3114. The Illinois State Police issued information late Friday afternoon, December the 15th, about a crash that did occur at 11:28 a.m. earlier in the day on Interstate 255 southbound, just south of Roxana's exit, the Mile 5 post in Madison County. The preliminary synopsis of the crash is as follows. ISP Troop 8 did respond to the above location for the report of a single unit rollover crash. The driver of the tractor-trailer semi swerved to avoid a vehicle that cut them off and lost control, causing the TTST to roll over the fence line. The driver was transported to an area hospital with minor injuries. ISP said there is no additional information to be shared at this time. Dan Brannon reporting out of Glen Carbon that Best Buy located at 6670 Edwardsville Crossing Drive in Edwardsville had a robbery around 9 p.m. last Thursday, December the 14th. The Glen Carbon Police Department reported on Friday morning, December the 15th. The Edwardsville Police Department was involved in the situation, but Chief Mac Philbeck said the Granite City Police were the main investigator of the crime at that point. Glen Carbon Police said more information will be released on the robbery later on, and at this point confirmed there was a robbery at that Best Buy store around 9 p.m. on Thursday evening. Glen Carbon Police said 4 people were apprehended and are in custody. Edwardsville Police, Madison County Sheriff's Office, and Illinois State Police were all involved in the apprehension of the suspects with the Glen Carbon Police Department. The Madison County State's Attorney's Office has been presented with case information and is currently reviewing it. Charges could come at some point later on, and we will keep you updated as those charges do get announced. Out of Alton, a new organization has opened in the Riverbend community, and founders Christine and Mark Ressler. It couldn't be more, well, perfect. Meow Town is a cat cafe where customers can enjoy cookies, coffee, and even cuddle with cats. The organization partners with the Metro East Humane Society, and all of the cats are available for adoption. Christine explained that Meow Town is a passion project that has brought her whole family together, starting when she and her 9-year-old daughter Lily went to a cat cafe in St. Louis and realized, well, they needed to open something similar here in the Riverbend. We were there, and I thought, this is so amazing. I have goosebumps. Alton needs one of these so bad, Christine remembered. Alton's amazing. I love this area. Anytime I leave it and come back, it's like, I love Alton so much. And the community rallies around things like this. So I think not only the cats, but it's really about the community too. We want to bring something here. The Wrestlers bought the building located at 301 West Elm Street in Alton a year ago and started renovating it to create their own cat cafe. Now officially open, Christine explained that people can come in and hang out with the cats in 50-minute blocks. They can enjoy treats and coffee while they play with the animals, and there is also a mini shopping section where customers will find cat-themed souvenirs. Because there can only be so many people with the cats at once, reservations are encouraged, but walk-ins are welcome. It costs $9 to reserve your spot, and the money goes back to the caring of the animal. Through the Metro East Humane Society, Meowtown currently has 10 cats that are all up for adoption, and they noted that the Ressler family, quickly fallen in love with the cats at Meowtown, even though they don't have any at their home just yet. Meowtown requires all guests to be ages 6 and up, and parking is across the street from the building. Christine noted that they are looking for volunteers to help care for the cats. For more information about Meowtown or to make a reservation, meowtownalton.org. That's meowtownalton.org. Out of Belleville, the 2024 Home Expo is inching closer as new details emerge about the event, which is slated to be the biggest Home Expo event on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River. Shannon Stelling with the Home Builders and Remodelers appeared on a recent episode of this show to share even more details about the event, local trade programs, facilities around the area, and so much more. Stelling started off talking about the home show with this quote, "It's not just a home show. It's a way to feature some of our different organizations and schools on the Illinois side of the river." Stelling said, "The 2024 Home Expo will offer free admission, free parking, and about 140 to 150 vendor booths, in addition to $22,000 worth of giveaway prizes over the course of the event, including a tens of thousands of dollars worth of a hot tub. The Home Expo will also feature performances from local high school bands, choirs, competitive dance and cheer teams, performing groups from the Special Olympics, and more." Stelling also emphasized the importance of raising awareness for the trades programs to local youths and listed a few local programs and facilities that she believes are doing a great job at doing so. The first example she gave was the Center for Academic and Vocational Excellence, also known as the Cave in Belleville Township. Here's her quotes. "It's an amazing campus with amazing programs. There's such a need for workforce development to continue and to be the focus in the state of Illinois. We don't have enough people to build, fix, to repair, or remodel, and programs like the Cave are ensuring that we have next generations that are learning those skills and coming through the pipeline." She also commended the Collinsville High School for their work promoting the trades to students through their vocational programs. Their students even built a house, and shortly before it was completed, the Home Builders Remodelers presented the program with the $500 check, which the organization also did for 4 other trade programs at 4 more schools in the area. To learn more about the Home Builders and Remodelers of the Metro East Association, you can visit their website, hbrmea.org, that's hbrmea.org, or for more information about local trade programs, the 2024 Home Expo, you can watch the full interview with me and Shannon Stelling right here on RiverBender.com/video. One final bit of news for you. Grafton's Winter Lights Parade was bigger and, brighter than ever before. On Saturday, December the 16th, the parade kicked off at 5:30 p.m. at the Hog Pit Barbecue in downtown Grafton. The route traveled along the back road and ended at the loading dock at 401 Front Street. Allison Rohan explained that this new tradition began as an inside joke and has quickly become a mecca to the parade routes with over 100 entries. "It started as a little joke," she said. "2 of us decorated our car with lights during the holidays and we would have a parade. So we did it the first year and had fun doing it, and the next year we had 25 people in the cars. So this year on social media, it really blew up and we had over 100 entries in the parade." This year's parade was sponsored by the Grafton Chamber of Commerce, and they encourage people to grab dinner at the loading dock or somewhere else in Grafton and explore more of downtown throughout the winter season as Christmas is quickly approaching. Let's take a look at weather. 9:15 is the time, 31 degrees. It feels like 21 today, windy and chilly with intervals of clouds and sunshine. And tonight, clear and cold. Temperatures will reach 36 degrees today. Will drop down to 20 degrees on the dot heading into Tuesday. On Tuesday, we can expect a high of 39, a low of 29 on Wednesday. Temperatures warm up a bit, highs of 52 and a low of 40 on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, a slight chance of rain, 40%. Temperatures will reach 52 yet again and drop down to 43 overnight. On Friday, a high of 52, a low of 45, a 92% chance of rain as we head into Christmas weekend. But As it sits, it's 31 degrees. Right here at 9:15, feels like 21 for time and temperature throughout the day. You give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. Before we take a quick break, let me fill you in. Listen, Christmas is in a week, and I know that a lot of you are still shopping. I tell myself every year in January I'm going to start the Christmas shopping and really get ahead of it this year, and well, like you, I failed yet again. But Pop Utopia is ready to help us out with great last-minute gifts for everyone on your list, from truffles to peppermint bark, old-fashioned favorites, pecan rolls, melt-away spoons, or gourmet popcorn, bulk candy, novelty toys, and gift baskets. The perfect gift, really, whenever you want to make sure you made it look like you actually put some thought into it and you cared and you weren't right there when the clock was striking zero. Pop Utopia will take care of you. Located inside Alton Square Mall, and their gift baskets, $25 for a small one, $40 for a large. And for more questions, give them a ring at the storefront, 618-600-4155. That's 618-600-4155. And just tell them that CJ sent your last-minute shopping self their way. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show comes your way next, right here in the heart of the 618. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Just see those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting-a-ting-a-ling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather.
Welcome back, 9:22 on this Monday morning, the 18th day of December. Steve Traube in the studio. You know, the other day I was just going through some of the Facebook stuff and thought, let's just kind of explore. And I stumbled upon Traube Awning, which is over there, right over in Hartford, correct?
Yep, right.
And
Fun
then
Lane.
I discovered a ton of stuff about Traube. I mean, an 85-year-old company that's been a part of our community for so long and does amazing stuff than Traube Tents and Structures.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate you reaching out.
So take me through your time with Traube. What led you to the business and now Tents and Structures?
Sure. You know, I mean, I grew up in the business. My grandfather started the company. And, you know, they started as a Venetian blind manufacturer, and then the very next year in 1939 got into blinds and awnings. And then later, I believe in the late 50s, got into tents and awnings. And eventually we ended up splitting the company, and one became Traube Awning, which is here in Hartford. And my brother and myself, we took Traube Tents and Structures, which is in Columbia.
Really cool. Well, and I just find it such a fascinating thing because Traube, I mean, to me being a younger person, our generation doesn't remember how important the awning was for the storefront. And it really made or break really that kind of walk by the foot traffic. And how many of those do you think that Traube was a part of in the area? Did you guys put a lot of them on?
Oh, geez, awnings?
Yeah, were you guys
absolutely.
the call?
Thousands for
Wow.
sure. I mean, you know, our roots were in Belleville, but certainly, you know, the entire Metro East and even the entire St. Louis area.
So what led you all to do tents and structures and more of that type of work?
Sure. You know, it was kind of a natural split for us. We were actually, we were Traube Canvas products in the early 90s still, and we were operating as two separate divisions. We had the awning division and the tent rental division. And so we split the company in 1996. My brother and I took the tent rental division, and my cousin took the awning side.
Really cool. And then a couple of years ago, you guys bought back the awning side,
yeah.
correct?
My cousin ended up, he actually sold out of the business and moved down to Texas with his family. And he sold the company outside the family, and it's where it stayed for the last 10 years until this year when I was able to get it back.
And how important was it for you to get it back in a way? Because it seems like, you know, for me, coming from a family business myself or just being a part of it, knowing that there's a lot of pride in the generations that kind of built that, was that something that weighed on you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, to be honest, the main reason I started to look at it was simply because of the name.
Yeah.
Because it was out there. I wasn't necessarily pursuing other businesses or anything, but the opportunity arose, and I knew it was, you know, probably my chance to get the name back if I ever wanted to. So I jumped on it.
Really fascinating. And then take me to whenever you started working with the family, because
Sure.
I'm sure you were, maybe 9 or 10 years old, hopping on a truck and getting to work.
I was younger than that.
I bet. I always get it. So how did it start?
You know, probably my start was, I don't know if it was preschool or kindergarten, but I was doing half days.
Wow.
And so I would get picked up at school at noon. And that's where I would go. And I would usually either sit there and play Agribusiness, which was an old game with my grandma.
That's one of my favorite games, honestly.
That's hilarious.
It really
I wasn't sure if you'd ever even heard of it.
On Sunday nights, my parents and I would always play a game with my sister, and that was one of them we always played.
We would play Agribusiness, or we would play a good old-fashioned game of war.
There you go.
But other times, I would go out and I would paint side poles for tents. I would actually build blinds, because we were still building blinds at the time, Venetian blinds. And then as I got older, I would eventually, you know, help install tents and help install awnings, things like that. So
now, in terms of the business side, did you ever have a fascination for it in high school, or was it something that you thought, well, maybe I'll kind of peek into? Or
Yeah, obviously starting that young, we really grew up in it, and
Right.
then we did work full time in the summers, as we got older to be teenagers. So it honestly wasn't something I had planned on doing. When I went to school, I was planning on being a teacher.
Really?
But after a little bit of time in the classroom, I kind of recognized that I don't think that's where I wanted to be. And my mom was a teacher. And she had kind of warned me that it might not be where I want to be these days.
That's incredible.
But I had to find out myself.
Well, and whenever you got out of college, and now that you got the degree, or you're coming back into work at admin roles, what were some of the things that you were looking to do with the next generation of technology and just the way the industry was starting to shape?
Yeah, sure. For us, it was really all about what we call structures. So we call ourselves Traube Tents and Structures. Our tents is what we look at as far as our roots, where it's more of the traditional pole tents, circus tents. Frame tents, what we call frame tents that you might have normally seen. Structures are things more like you're seeing on our website, where it's that one's a permanent structure. There are permanent structures. There are semi-permanent structures.
Wow.
There's glass walls, hard roofs. I mean, you name it. It's legit construction, basically.
Well, and that's what I was kind of getting at, because this isn't a weekend job where you're setting up and you got the work crew out there and you're able to get it done. I mean, you're having to plan, and this is a real process.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously to pull off some of the huge events that we are able to pull off, we've got a great team and a bunch of people that really just do a fantastic job.
So that's what I was trying to tease our way into, because we're going to come up on our first break here soon. But let's just start with some of the things that you were able to do. I mean, being a part and being able to say, hey, yeah, those are our structures with the the PGA Tour.
Right.
That's got to feel pretty darn good.
Yeah, definitely.
How did those type of projects come about? Because it's not just a shot in the pan that somebody as big as the PGA or any type of natural disaster agency calls you.
Right.
I mean, you have to have a legacy and some type of groundwork already put in.
Yeah, and we were fortunate to have some great connections through employees that we brought in. Right now our current CEO was a former operations manager for PGA of America.
Okay, cool.
So, that was a huge help, and he was able to bring some of those contacts with him, and we've been able to execute. So that goes around, and it's a small world.
So let me ask you a little bit more about the PGA setup here, because that's got to be a difficult thing, because you're on beautiful grass and you're still on a golf course and you're in these settings. But whenever you're looking to set them up, what are the layouts that you're looking for, and what's the client trying to kind of go, hey, we don't want that. It's just fascinating. What's that look like with the client calling you? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, for us, we really tout ourselves as specialists.
Okay.
We truly just do structures.
Yeah.
There are a lot of companies out there. Companies that we might compete with, some of them that we work with as well. But they might do the seating, they might do the flooring, they might do the structures, they might do the catering, they might do 20 different things. All we do is structures. So
Really
we're really
cool.
good at it.
And see, that's what I always find fascinating, is anyone that I've talked to that has something really good going for them, it's like, no, this is our specialty. This is us. This is who we are. And I think that really makes it easier to become more efficient in one thing and be successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
Other hardbar question. If we had a Happy Gilmore scenario and somebody tries to climb the TV structure, is that coming down anytime soon?
No, not as long as it's anchored properly.
So we aren't going to have to play like Happy Gilmore did in that last putt where you hit it off of 40 things to get it to roll.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Really, I'm enjoying this just because, I mean, for somebody here locally and right up the road in Belleville, to really have a namesake company that does phenomenal work through major corporations and companies is just huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big thing for us to have in the region for sure.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So why don't we do this? You got time to hang out with me?
Yeah, sure.
9:29 is the time. I got to pay a quick bill. Daily Show on a Monday hits you next right here in the heart of the 618. When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away.
9:32, welcome back. Steve Traube in studio as we're talking Traube Tents and Structures, Traube awning, and, well, anything else we want to talk about today, really. I mean, just going down this, it just amazes me that we have such a company that has such an impact, and not patronizing you, but just something that I never really have realized before, instead of going on Facebook a couple of days ago and finding it. It's just so cool. So let's go down some of the services that you do. And I mean, you do the generic, commercialized stuff, I'm sure, and wedding receptions.
Absolutely.
But in terms of working with the government and doing some of this natural disaster work, what's that look like and entail?
Yeah, sure. It can be fast and furious. There's no doubt about it. We oftentimes, we even have some contracts where we're required to respond within a certain time frame. Oftentimes we have wheels on the road in 48 hours, maybe on site in 72 hours. There are often times where we roll out and we're not quite sure where we're going. We just know the general direction that we're headed.
Wow.
And we'll get as close as we can, and then we'll wait.
Wow.
So it can be interesting, but it can be very challenging, obviously. But rewarding as well. We've got a lot of guys who have really grown accustomed to this type of work. They like the challenges that it presents. It's different every day, different every place.
Well, you're a part of the first responder team, it seems like, too, in some of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't have to, break it down if you don't want to, but what are some of the things that you get called to go and have some presence there for the first responders and for the people working?
Sure. It's anything from hailstorms.
Okay.
Those, more often, it's not a first responder type
situation.
But those are probably some of the smaller things that we could get called out to. But more typically, it's something like whether it's hurricanes, wildfires, major tornadoes, areas that have really been hit hard.
That is just so fascinating to me. And when you're there, I'm sure you don't know how long you're going to be there. You just know, hey, we're setting up, and this is what we're told to do.
Yeah, and oftentimes, we will head to a general area, even though we're not quite sure exactly where we're going, and we'll stand by and wait for an address.
And now, is there a certain amount, like a kit that you guys always have kind of prepared that's, I hate to say like a generic disaster kit, but is there something that has similar structures where you can kind of grab?
There's a few packages that we will typically roll out or offer as kind of a standard offering. If you need a base camp, if you need medical services facilities, if you need dining facilities, if you need sleeping facilities, things like that. So,
is there one instance, and it doesn't have to necessarily be with just for, natural disasters, but one job that you just always look back on and go, I don't know if it's your favorite, but just one of the more memorable ones with maybe a client or maybe just a situation?
Most recently is probably the Cub food store that we did up in Minneapolis. It was right after the George Floyd riots, and both grocery stores in that community were burned down during those riots. And so they had no services. There what was known as a food desert. And so Cub Foods decided their solution, instead of waiting 18 months to rebuild, which was their timeline to rebuild, they brought us in, and within 2 weeks, we had a 20,000 square foot grocery store open and operating.
Wow.
And so they kept that open until their construction was done, and then they took it all down and opened the grocery store.
Well, and that's an invaluable use of your service. I
Yeah,
mean, because you're already in a food desert, and anyone that's looked into that knows that it's very prolific up in the northern parts of the country.
Right.
But to be able to really be on the ground, I mean, that's really fascinating. And now, 20,000 square foot in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and that was, I mean, we were done with most of our part sooner than that. That was till they were open, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was close to the timeline they took from start of construction.
Well, now I'm really starting to understand this because, you know, at first I wanted to get an overview, but now I understand how crucial this is because you could spend tens of thousands of dollars waiting if you wanted to get a permanent building or something put in, or, you know, brick and mortar,
Right.
or you can call Traube and you get it done within a couple of weeks and you're ready to go.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What's your average turnaround time on something like a project like that that's 20,000?
Yeah, it can really depend on the fit and finish. I mean, honestly, our crews can install roughly, and again, varies by site,
Right,
absolutely. But we can install roughly 10,000 square feet a day with each crew. So,
wow.
you know, if we're rolling on a nice flat level surface where we don't have obstructions, we can operate heavy machinery in it, around it, all of those things. Our guys can move.
Is there any weird like scenario that throws off a little bit of the groundbreaking process for your guys' structures? Like, I always find it fascinating because in, you know, the sewer world, you know, with Rigdon, it could be little, you know, not flushable wipes that cause you 4 days of stress.
Yeah.
You know, is there ever like
Yeah.
a beehive that was right next to the location you needed to put in, or something weird like that?
Yeah, there've been a number of those things, you know,
Yes.
or you end up, you know, you get, we've had a lot of like cobblestone areas where you can't get stakes in or out. So you've got to move, you know, just a little bit, offset things, various challenges like that. You know, PGA, those golf courses present a lot of challenges.
That's what I was going at, because that's delicacy at its finest, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're dealing with big, heavy stuff, heavy machinery.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a real challenge, but our guys are really good at it.
Well, and it seems like you really do have a talented team because, I mean, when you're offering this amount of services, you got to be pretty good at what you're doing in terms of employees.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Our guys, I would put them up against any crews in the world, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
Absolutely.
The
And then
stuff
look,
they're building, there's not many people that do or can.
no, and just going on your website, you know, and that's why I think it was so cool to have you on, is there's so many people that drive by or work in or walk through or enjoy your structures that don't even realize that, you know, you done them.
Yeah.
Like a Worldwide Technology Soccer Park, which I've been countless times, that Budweiser pavilion you
Right.
guys put in.
Correct.
Wow. Just now, whenever we're talking about expedition, help me here with the adventuring. Whenever you have expeditions and
Sure.
systems like that, you guys do that work too?
We do. Not really on a smaller scale
Yeah.
or like an individual scale, but more so with the military or somebody like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, now, what's it? How do you guys how are you able to combat, or not really combat, but kind of navigate working with so many different clients and different, you know, organizations and facets? And I'm sure working with the military is a lot different than working with the PGA, and you have it. How do you navigate
absolutely. Again, it's just different people.
Yeah.
You know, really, you know, we've got a disaster services guy. We've got, you know, just people in various places who kind of either handle those markets or handle certain types of structures. And now that, you know, we've grown to a certain size, we're fortunate enough to have several layers of really good people. And I mean, honestly, that's what it's all about. I mean, anybody honestly could go buy a tent or a structure or go buy equipment. But if you don't have good people, you're not going to do much with it.
You're going to be losing out pretty quickly.
Right.
When did you and your brother know that you guys had something really cooking with the tents and structure side of things?
You know, my brother, he went to school for business and graduated with the intent of coming into the business. And I will say he came out with a plan. You know, I went to school to be a teacher. Came out, knew I wasn't going to be a teacher. I knew I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to still go into the family business, and I did. But he really had the plan, and, you know, we started knocking it out from there, and now it's just, you know, continue to grow. But I would say it didn't take long. I mean, when I first saw his plan, I laughed at him. I said, "You're crazy. You know, nobody could do $1 million of worth of tents in a year. You know, that's insane." And in a few years we did, and then we just kept going from there.
Do you ever look back and think about, some of the times just with your grandma playing Aggravation and getting in the truck or doing some stuff and going, how the hell did I end up here,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's some good stuff,
Absolutely.
man. And now in terms of the next generations, are any that are working currently that are looking?
None that are working currently, no. My brother had 2 girls, so I have 2 nieces that are both still in college. One's getting her graduate degree and the other's undergrad. I have a son who's 13. So who knows what the heck he wants to do. Hopefully we might be so lucky. And I have another nephew as well. And my sister has 2 girls and a boy. So there's some options there still that are still coming up.
That's really cool.
So we'll see, yeah.
Well, I just think it's really great that, to have a really a namesake company, and really anyone that has ever been a part of that has your last name on something knows how much pride you take in having that on there.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it's really cool, that hopefully, you never know, there's some floating around that could decide to take the reins. And I just think it's fantastic. And throughout the rest of the year, when's your busy season?
We really run. Our busiest time is May through September.
Okay.
It extends out a little still. It goes almost March through November these days as the seasons seem to grow for us.
Yeah.
But that's really our busy time. And we're, we're starting to level that out though too, with things like we'll be headed to Tucson for a golf tournament. So we'll have guys that are, trust me, ready to go to Tucson at the end of January to start installing a golf tournament.
And now, so with the golf tournament, just because I find the timeline fascinating, whenever the tournament tees off, I'm sure you guys have already been set up for 2 or 3 weeks, correct?
Yeah, a golf tournament, depending upon the size of the install, the size of the build, it can be anywhere from like a Champions Tour event, like what we have here in St. Louis, could be a 3 to 4 week build, depending upon the size of that tournament, and then the Zurich, which is the largest that we do. That is more like a 6 to 8 week build.
Wow.
And then you got a 3 to 4 weeks on the out, it's a lot. It's a lot of work to get it done, and you have to move slowly on a golf course.
Yeah. 100%. That is really just fascinating to me. But also, this is what I think is cool, because I'm on your website now, TraubeTent.com, and I was just looking at some of the commercial and just residential services, but just kind of taking this as a glance at what I'm kind of doing here is there's a lot of advantages to doing a work with you guys, instead of just going, well, we need a structure here. Well, let's just pour a bunch of mortar and let's start building.
Yeah.
Because the structure, at Worldwide Technology, that sucker's been there for years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a permanent building. And what you're looking at there, I don't know if the listeners can see that or not, but that is actually just down the road. That was at ConocoPhillips when they were doing...
See if I can do this. I used to be able to. Look at that.
There you go. You're a superstar. I couldn't do that.
So this is right here what we're looking at. This is at ConocoPhillips?
So that was at ConocoPhillips. It was there for roughly 5 years, I believe, while they were... forget the big project they had going there at the refinery. But we installed that as a temporary warehouse. And so they used it to service that entire construction project while it was going on for those several years. And then they actually ended up, we took it down and they sold it to a company out of Canada and they moved it up there.
Really cool.
So that's, again, another advantage.
Well, and that's what I'm just looking at this going, no wonder. This is saving tons of money, I'm sure, for so many people by going this route. But also, it's such a durable thing. You can leave it up for as long as you want, it seems like.
Yeah.
And we were talking, you have a really, it's really good to identify the market. And it seems like you guys really found a great supplier, and you have great parts coming in, and you have great equipment, and that's what makes the job easier, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really cool. Well, as we're kind of winding down here, is there any way that, let's just say a business owner, there's a lot of, you drove by here, I'm sure, there's a lot of facades that need some improvement work. Maybe it's an awning, maybe it's something a little bit bigger. What number would they call for the awning side of things here in town today if they wanted to get that?
I would give the same number for both.
Okay, cool.
Yep, absolutely. I would say it's 618-281-8368 and 618-281-TENT.
There. Really cool. I like that. Well, Steve, I really appreciate your time. I was excited to talk to you just to learn about the business a little more. And I'm just embarrassed I didn't know more about Traube before I talked to you, because this is just fantastic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity and, again, your time.
Absolutely. Anytime you have anything cool coming down the pipeline, you just worked on something you want to fill everybody in, you're more than welcome to hop back on here. Seriously.
Awesome. I appreciate that. No, we are well in tune to events, so we'll keep you posted.
Please do. 9:45, that's the time on a Monday morning, the 18th day of December. There's really only like 2 business days of this week, because I'm guaranteeing I think like half the workforce in the office space are going to go, oh, you know, Christmas starts on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
But our show continues right after this quick one on RiverBender.com. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back, Daily Show. 9:50 on Monday morning, the 18th day of December. And, that was a really cool conversation. I don't get very many opportunities anymore to talk to new businesses because I think I've had so many on. But if I haven't had you on the show yet, where have you been? Come on over. Give me a call. We'll get you on the show, and we'll show you some love like we always do. And I think we do better than anybody. Hey, so, if you can't stop coughing, okay, as weird as this sounds, it's a common question that is happening with all of the upper respiratory bugs going on. And I know that some people think that, I don't know, there's a lot of flu going around. There's a lot of illnesses and yucky stuff. I know that we get some of the data, and it shows that things are up. But everyone starts coughing, and you start doing that kind of like the yucky, get the hell away from me look. Why are you coughing in a public building? Well, maybe, 2 weeks ago, you had a virus. You treated the symptoms with antibiotics. You're feeling better, but that cough, you can't really let it get away. It just keeps lingering on, right? Well, Juan Bosco Ayala, MD, is a pulmonologist in the intensive care unit at OSF Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Evergreen Park. Now, he provides medical care to patients on a daily basis, okay, especially people who have breathing disorders, lung disease, and, well, he explains potential reasons for that cough to linger on. A lot of times it's due to the local inflammation that persists. There's not much to do for it. We typically recommend antihistamines, and sometimes you have to cycle those. The doctor says it's usually something that subsides with time, but if it doesn't, then obviously that may need to be looked at. Antihistamines can include Claritin D, Benadryl, Allegra, and more. These can be found over the counter and really don't require a prescription. For many, colder temperatures bring an uptick of mucus in your throat. For this, the doctor says another over-the-counter option, Mucinex, may be a good choice for you. Well, he also recommends keeping an eye closely on your symptoms because you never want things to progress. And if you're like me, you go, one day you're thinking, man, I'm not feeling the best. And then for 4 days you feel okay, but you really don't. And you just are kind of ignoring everything you got going on. Well, as more people, speaking of, as more people are getting colds and viruses this time of year, it's important to not let local hospitals get overrun if you can treat your symptoms at home. That's a big thing. That's what kept happening 2 years ago when everyone kept saying, oh, that's not the case. It was. People shouldn't have been in the ER when they were there. As long as you don't have some of the red flags like a persistent fever, high-grade fever, they'll last more than 1 to 3 days, something that won't go away despite using temporary measures like Tylenol or Motrin. If this persists more than 2 or 3 days, this might be something that needs to be looked at. Dr. Ayala says he's seen an uptick in COVID-19 patients as well. Here's his quotes. There's been a noticeable increase. Some of the recent strains may not be lethal or severe, yet they continue to spread easily from person to person. So, should you go to the doctor? Well, COVID, RSV, strep, and the flu are very contagious, but usually can be treated at home. If you have symptoms such as a cough or sore throat, but they are mild and you don't have a high-risk health condition, you can take a COVID-19 test at home and treat your symptoms with over-the-counter medications. That's what the doctor's saying. So go to the doctor if you have symptoms that haven't gotten better after 10 days, have difficulty breathing, or you have a pre-existing condition like diabetes, asthma, or COPD. If you have white spots on the back of your throat, it's a clear sign of an infection and will need medical intervention prescribed by a licensed medical provider. So, how do you stay healthy? Well, all it is simple. You wash your hands, you cover your cough, and you stay home if you're sick. That's the best way to keep you and everybody you love around you feeling the best, because I'm telling you what, it happens to me every year. I don't know about you all, but for me, there's always a week before Christmas, and I'm feeling really great, and then all of a sudden, I start getting the sniffles. And I got it down to a point now where I don't see the little ones until Christmas morning, the week before Christmas, because if I do, I know there's a chance I'm getting a cough and stuff, and I'm going to get a bug or maybe a cold, and then I'm going to be miserable on Christmas morning. Not this time around. I am prepared. So that's what I'm doing this week, because I always get sick right before holiday. I don't know why. It just happens every time. Is someone else like that out there? I know that you have to be, where you're just always the one that gets sick, and it's never like you're sick throughout the year all the time. It's just right whenever the big holidays come, boom, out of commission. You know who's ever out of commission? Lisa Webb. She is always in commission for helping her clients find their next chapter of happiness. You know, at Third Street Realty, it's more than just a real estate company. It's really a values company, because they don't look at you as a tag. They don't look at you as going, oh, there's commission. They look at you as people. They looked at me as CJ, the guy with some big hair that came in with some grand ideas of owning his first house, and I did none of the legwork. I found the property I wanted. Lisa Webb talked with me very seriously about what it takes to own a home, and within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I was waiting to move in. I mean, we signed the deal. It was smooth. And it's not just because, oh, I do the segment with her. It's because she treated me like a normal client. They held my hand through the entire process because I was freaked out and nervous. I was worried. I went, why am I doing? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should. They calm me down every step of the way. And at this time of the year, we always talk about happiness, and we talk about all the fun stuff that we're doing. Well, there's a good size, a good portion of our population that's not as happy. They have bills. Maybe they're struggling to make ends meet. Maybe they already got their first of nasty letters from the bank. And that foreclosure and that short sale stuff hits you, especially this time of the year. And let me tell you, if you're like that individual I just mentioned, if you are that person, call Lisa Webb. Go to Third Street Realty right now, thirdstreetrealty.com. She is the best when it comes to foreclosures, the art of the short sale, and she'll help you in a compassionate way, but a straightforward way, so you know exactly what is being done, the exact process. You're walked through it step by step, because at Third Street Realty, education is important. Education and your family's values. At Third Street Realty, it's a woman-owned but family-operated company where they're going to put your family in the best step forward no matter what journey in life you're taking. Whether you're opening up a new chapter or you're just turning the page over to a new house in the same neighborhood, thirdstreetrealty.com. That's thirdstreetrealty.com. The time is 9:57 on this Monday morning. I have 4 days until my vacation starts. I'm excited, and I know that a lot of you are feeling the same ways that I'm feeling, because Christmas is here. That's Christmas week, and, well, we got 4 more days of fun until we can just kind of put it on idle for a few. But I was telling the folks upstairs, I was talking to Mike, and I said, you know, I don't think anyone's going to work past Wednesday this week. The way that Christmas falls on a Sunday, if you think about it, it's like the biggest cop-out ever, because you're going, oh, well, it's Christmas, you know, but it's like, hey, man, it's Christmas Sunday. We still got a work week here. You know, the 23rd's a Friday. It's not even Christmas Eve then. But it just stops everything. And then you're kind of looking around going, hello? I'm still working. I need you to be at work so I can work. That's a weird thing. 9:58, top of the hour news right here on this Monday morning. We'll come back and hit you right after a word from our very supportive sponsors. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of Third Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. Third Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit thirdstreetrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back. Monday. It's a Christmas. Technically not. Technically not. Anyone out there that says Christmas Monday, it's not yet. Christmas Tuesday will be Tuesday because next Monday is Christmas. You see that? I don't know. Some weird stuff. Here's what's happening around that's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update where you can join myself and I don't know, only 70,000 people that are truly in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. Someone tell me that we're not number one in your daily dose of local. At 10:04, we'll take you to Wood River first. The Wood River Police Department utilized an ILEAS tactical response team to execute a search warrant in the 500th block of North Wood River Avenue at 8:30 a.m. on December the 15th. The search warrant was executed on the address due to an undercover drug investigation conducted by the Wood River Police Department Street Crimes Unit. Here's the quote from Wood River Police Chief Brad Wells. 4 people were removed from the home during the search warrant. All were taken into custody and transported to the Wood River City Jail. As a result of the search warrant, the investigation is in the preliminary stage. Any criminal charges sought against those present will be presented to the Madison County State's Attorney's Office. The illegal use of drugs and sale of illegal drugs are problems that every community will face, endangering the health and safety of abusers and those who live around them. The Wood River Police Department is committed to protecting our community by being proactive and maintaining the quality of life for those who work, live, or visit the city of Wood River. Chief Wells said he appreciated those in the community who support their efforts of the police department and report criminal activity in their neighborhoods. Any reports of criminal activity can be reported to their dispatch center at 618-251-3114. All information is confidential. Sydney Sinks reporting out of Grafton that Grafton's Winter Lights Parade was bigger and brighter than ever before on Saturday, December the 16th. The parade kicked off at 5:30 p.m. at Hog Pit Barbecue in downtown Grafton. The route traveled along the back road and ended at the loading dock at 401 Front Street. Allison Rohan explained that this new town tradition began as an inside joke and has quickly grown to include well over 100 parade entries. It started as a little joke, she said. Two of us decorated our car with lights during the holidays, and we would have a parade. So we did it the first year and had fun doing it, and the next year we had 25 people in the parade. Or cars. So this year, on social media, it really blew up, and we had over 100 entries in the parade. This year's parade, sponsored by the Grafton Chamber of Commerce, they encourage people to grab dinner at the loading dock or somewhere else in Grafton and explore more of the downtown area after the parade concluded, and they hope that you do that throughout the rest of the week leading into the Christmas holiday. Dalton Brown reporting out of Granite City that Beck Office Products, a family-owned and operated office supply store serving the St. Louis metro region for more than 50 years, recently received a federal grant for small business totaling $25,000. Beck received a federal home loan bank grant of $25,000, which they were recommended by Guardian Savings Bank of Granite City. The grant is to be used to upgrade their HVAC system and improve signage along Madison Avenue. Community First Accelerate grants for small business, such as the one received by Beck, assist with the growth and development of small businesses in Illinois and in Wisconsin. Grants of up to $25,000 are awarded to eligible small businesses through member institutions of Guardian Savings Bank. Beck Office Products first began as a typewriter repair and sales business in the basement of typewriter Tony Mangy's home in Venice, Illinois in 1957. The business now offers over 25,000 office products from major brands and top manufacturers at competitive prices and is located at 2930 Madison Avenue in Granite City. This isn't the first time Guardian Savings Bank helped a local business secure these grant funds. Last year, the bank also recommended another grant recipient, Holt Chew of Granite City. To learn more about Beck Office Products, you can visit their website or their Facebook page. And for more information on Guardian Savings Bank, you can find out more at bankguardian.com. 10:08 and out of Chicago, Bethalto Community School District Superintendent Jill Griffin and Bunker Hill Superintendent Todd Dugan were inducted into the Educational League of Illinois during their organization's 143rd annual meeting. Organized and founded on December 29, 1880, Eli is the oldest order of educational leaders in the state of Illinois. The organization is comprised of educational leaders who go above and beyond to promote learning, share collective expertise, and advance educational interests in the state of Illinois. Dugan and Griffin were inducted into the professional organization during the league's annual meeting at the annual joint conference of the Illinois Association of School Administrators, Illinois Association of School Boards, and the Illinois Association of School Business Officials in Chicago. Congratulations on that recognition. Out of Glen Carbon, Senator Erica Harris from the 56th District is pleased to announce that more than $22,000 in state-sponsored library grants have been approved for public school libraries across the 56th District. Here's her quote: "Our school libraries are incredibly important for educational and research opportunities for our students. I am thrilled to see schools across the 56th District receiving grant funding to further expand and modernize local libraries that serve critical tools for the education of our children." The grant was awarded once every fiscal year to support students that are enrolled in kindergarten through 12th grade. Resources and services provided through the grant include library books, e-books, audiobooks, periodicals, multilingual materials, technology, and programs. Libraries in the 56th Senate District that will receive funds are as follows. Alton Community School District will receive $4,755.75 in funding. Collinsville, $3,242.07. Edwardsville, $6,196.82. Granite City, $4,818.83. $850 for Madison, $1,379.65 to the Roxana School District, and East Alton-Wood River, number 14, received $850 in that grant funding. The library grant is overseen by the Illinois Secretary of State's office. For a full list of available grant opportunities, more of that information can be found by hyperlinks on the RiverBender.com article. Dan Brandon reporting out of East Alton that Chrissy Teets is on top of the world literally, after a huge triumph in the World Pro-Am Axe Throwing League tournament in Appleton, Wisconsin. Chrissy, a local athlete who was drafted on a pro team, and her team was undefeated in 3 out of 4 skills categories, and the team won the overall skills award at the worldwide axe throwing event. I went so far in the tournament that I was filmed competing and will appear on ESPN on Sunday, December the 17th. That's what Chrissy told us at the time of the article. I am one of the first females to appear on ESPN for the World Axe Throwing League. I will be shattering this gender barrier in the world of axe throwing alongside Tasia Cobbs, who also made it to the big stage in November. I'm looking forward to the broadcast. Millions are likely to watch it. This was a statement from the World Axe Throwing League about Chrissy and Tasia Cobb, another woman who entered the competition. Chrissy and Tasia have demonstrated unparalleled dedication and proficiency in the sport, earning their spots in this prestigious competition through a series of qualifying rounds. Their participation not only represents a personal triumph, but also serves as an inspiration to aspiring athletes, particularly women, to pursue their passion in non-traditional sports. Chrissy's husband, Dylan, will be going back to the World Axe Throwing Championships in 2024 to defend his title, she said. She also said Dylan and other throwers from her home base, Riverbend Axe Throwing, have constantly encouraged and coached her to improve. She has competed in world axe throwing events across the country over the past few years and served as a great inspiration for other women throwers. Chrissy practices 3 or 4 times a week at Riverbend Axe Throwing and also works there. She also works full-time at the Wood River Public Library Youth Services Coordinator by day. Then by night, she is often found in axe throwing circles. I love the sport of axe throwing, she said. I am known for being a vocal person and one of the most spirited cheering at the world's events. I have such a passion and a love for the sport. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend, and that pretty quick newscast, I got through that pretty good. 31 degrees is what's on the thermometer right now. It feels like 23, and don't expect much more. Windy with intervals of clouds, and that, well, sunshine is not going to be your friend today. You might see parts of sunshine throughout the day. Tonight, clear and cold, and temperatures will reach 38 degrees today. They will drop down to 19 degrees overnight, heading into Tuesday. And on Tuesday, a high of 39 degrees, a low of 29. On Wednesday, a high of 52, a low of 40. On Thursday, a high of 42, a low of 33. There's about a 50% chance of rain on Thursday. But on Friday, bring out the rain jacket and bring out the sailboat. We're getting some rain. 92% chance of rain on Friday. 52 for the high on Friday and 45 for the low, heading in to the official Christmas weekend. But at 10:14, that's the time, and here's the weather. 31 degrees. If you need it throughout the day, you give this number a ring, 618-465-4545. The area landmark, that phone number. I'm so glad RiverBender.com has it. But right now, as it sits, 31 degrees at 10:14, and that's what's happening around the Riverbend. You know, before I take a break, this morning, so anyone that lives by me knows that my dog drives me crazy, okay? And it's not, he's just wild. He has to go 100 miles an hour all the time, kind of like me. So this morning I took him out, and he can't ever behave. Every time he sees a dog or a cat, he has to try and go play with it, and I don't think playing for him is the same as anything else. So we had to take him inside, or I did. So I bring him back inside. Well, then it's time to leave again, so I could take him over to my parents' house. So he goes and sits with their dogs while I'm at work and everything else. So he just doesn't get bored. Well, I'm leaving, and in the morning, I knew that something felt off about my deck. There was something about the porch that just didn't feel right, and I didn't listen to my instincts. My dog jumps out of the door. Thank goodness I had him in the leash tied in my hand, and he just shoots out the door like he always does, which normally isn't a big thing, unless your porch is covered in a little bit of ice. Because I slipped and fell so hard. I fell right off of my porch and ended up sideways, and my dog, being the great dog he is and so caring, decided to come look at me and almost step on me to see if I was still breathing, and then ran off. It was a nightmare. Anyway, be careful with your front porches, because the next couple of days, those temperatures are going to be cold enough to get some little bit of some ice on your porch, and you don't want to do what I just did today. But with that being said, we got a great conversation coming down the pipeline with Madison County Mental Health Board in here in about 15 minutes or so. But we have a lot to talk about with them and some really good stuff. And honestly, I got a phone call the other day, and I feel really proud of this because normally at this time of the year, things slow down to a crawl. It's just the way things work. You're lucky to get one interview a day. That's just the way the business works at this time. I have been so booked with guests, and it's because people really know the show and they want to come on and talk to me, and I love it. I had a phone call the other day from somebody in the media world, and they go, man, how are you doing it? Because I can't find a darn soul. And all I can tell you is we have some great people that love RiverBender.com, and me being here, I don't think there's any incentive to that. It's just the fact that we have a platform that's always open for all of you. So I'm excited for this conversation coming down the pipeline at 10:30, excited for the rest of the week of shows, and excited to take a quick break because when I come back, I'll fill you in on the few events that are happening throughout the week in the Riverbend region.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back, 10:19 on this 18th day of December. It's a Monday morning in the heart of the 618. Here's what's happening this week in terms of events. And just always a good thing to stay up to date with because I know that so many of you have your families coming into town and you always want to have something fun that's not just the traditional stops that you make when they're in town, right? So coming up tomorrow, Roaming Naturalists at the Nature Institute takes place at 9 a.m. in Godfrey at the downtown location of Hainer Library. Stories with Panda Bear. This thing's becoming a big part of Hainer's recurring events, and this is so much fun. I always see the pictures on their Facebook page, and I just love the work our friends at Hainer Library do. And while I have you, make sure you get your library card, courtesy of Hainer Public Library. Bingo at Senior Services Plus takes place at 1 p.m. at SSP in Alton on Tuesday. Sit, Stay, Read with Got Your 6 Therapy Dogs. That takes place at Johnson Road Branch in Granite City at 6:30 p.m. And then at Jerseyville First Presbyterian Church on a Tuesday night, it's the Children's Choir Christmas Concert at 7 p.m. Coming up on Wednesday, the 3rd annual Boonies Farm Christmas continues at Booty's Farm and Warden, at 5 p.m. I thought that was last week, but it continues throughout next weekend, too. The story time at the Niedring House building takes place at 4:30 p.m. And then Cookies with Santa at the Unified Child Advocacy Network in Jerseyville. That takes place at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. On Thursday, Boone's Farm Christmas, that continues, the third annual rendition of it. That takes place at 5 p.m. Thursday in Warden. 7 a.m. at the Audubon Center at the Riverlands this Thursday is Winter Solstice Silent Meditation. That sounds like a really fun event and a great way to really get off the shortest day of the year and the right foot forward. That takes place at the Audubon Center at Riverlands. And then Tasting with Heritage Wines takes place at 4 p.m. at Solera, right over here on Broadway, right next to the RiverBender building. That takes place at 4 p.m. this Thursday. Coming up on Friday, a couple of things for you to do. The Gift Box Quarter Auction takes place at 7 p.m. at the Wood River Moose. Dueling Pianos Family Holiday Show at the Wildey takes place at 7 p.m. in Edwardsville. Play and Learn for Babies and Toddlers takes place at 10 a.m. at the Niedring House building in Granite. And then the Nature's Institute would like to remind you that their trails are closed for the winter, just in case you're looking to get out on a little bit of an adventure. And then on Friday at 5 p.m., the big one, that's the third annual Boone's Farm Christmas taking place yet again. Coming up on Saturday, the Holiday Cheers Market. My mom loved it. She found a bunch of cool stuff last Saturday. This is the final chance you guys are going to have the opportunity to go shop. The 23rd is Saturday. Christmas Eve is on the 24th, a Sunday. You are not finding any last-minute gift Sunday, okay, unless you're going to Walgreens. Stop into Old Bakery Beer Company, shop some local vendors, some handmade stuff, some great stuff that nobody else is going to have for your loved one, and you'll be good to go, courtesy of the Old Bakery Beer Company this Saturday, December 23rd at 11:30 a.m. right over there in Alton at Old Bakery Beer Company. The third annual Boone's Farm Christmas, that continues into Saturday at 5 p.m. on Saturday as well. At 10 a.m. on Saturday is the Oakwood Toy Drive at Oakwood CO, GIC, and Godfrey. At Riverbend Creative Studios on the 23rd, a charcuterie tree class takes place in Wood River. At AP Cigar at 12 noon this Saturday is the STL Cigar Rolling event at AP Cigar, and then at 1 p.m., the Nintendo Switch Club at Niedring House Building at the old 6 Mile Regional Library in Granite. And then at 7 p.m. at Regal Beagle on Saturday is the Porch Cafe Christmas Show. That's going to be a really great one. Coming up on Sunday, Christmas at Bethel Church, because it will be Christmas Eve. So that takes place at 9 a.m. Soul Sunday, 10:30 a.m. at the Fuller Dome this Christmas Eve Sunday. Candlelight Christmas Eve service at Life Church X in Jerseyville takes place at 4 p.m. At 4:30 p.m., a landmark staple, really, a tradition like no other, up in Middletown at 4:30 p.m. That's the start of the Christmas Eve luminaries at the Middletown Historic District in Alton this Sunday. At 7 p.m., a different event. For so many of us, we always talk about being happy and joyous and cheerful and jolly this time of year. Well, for some, that might not be the case. And over there at Upper Alton Baptist Church and Preschool, they're having a Blue Christmas, a Christmas Eve service for the individuals that really aren't in the greatest of moods, maybe because of a loss of a loved one or what have you. That service for you guys will be at 7 p.m. at the Upper Alton Baptist Church for all of you that are looking for a more laid-back and toned-back Christmas service. And then let me just give you Christmas Day's event. There's one. 11 a.m., that's SJMBC, 10th Annual Free Community Christmas Day Dinner. That takes place on Christmas Monday. But there's still some fun stuff, some really community-oriented stuff for y'all to do this weekend. And I highly encourage you to do it, and stay tuned to RiverBender.com. If you have an event that you have coming down the pipeline, put it on our calendar. You'll have hundreds of thousands of people looking at that, especially if you get it up a month ahead of time. You'll be giving yourself a lot of good luck heading into that day of the event. All that awaits you at RiverBender.com/events. You know, Denise Sparks is one of my favorite people in the world. She decided she had a business that's been long-standing for 30 years, and she decided we need a different option for our trash, okay? And for all of you at home, it's been now since July, so August, September, October, November. We're in December. This would mark month 5 that I've been waiting for my trash can. And why am I waiting? Well, because I don't have Sparks Junk Removal. We're lumped in the city of Alton in this great contract, which is fine. It saves money, right? Well, how about somebody that answers the phone? I've called customer service week after week, and I always get told very nicely, they're great people on the phone, we almost know each other by name, it's coming on such and such date. I have it in my notes that I'm going to check back with you, and nothing ever happens. Denise Sparks knew there was a need for a new trash service, and she said, you know what, I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to be that option. And boy, oh boy, did she pick up that phone to make the call, and so many answered. Those purple and yellow trash cans, all up and down Godfrey, Grafton, Elsa, Bethalto, all these great locations, and she's going to take care of you too if you give her a call. All you have to do, it's really easy for you, no pressure. Just go ahead, go to sparksjunkremoval.net right now, sparksjunkremoval.net, and click on the services tab. Once you see that, you're going to see weekly trash service. Click on weekly trash service. Fill out the form, hit book now, and she'll be giving you a call with a quote. But don't just go there for your trash. Remember, for 30 years, Denise Sparks has been the queen of junk, and she's the best for all of your junk hauling and demolition needs. There's only one in the area you call, and that's the queen herself. Visit her online today, sparksjunkremoval.net. That's sparksjunkremoval.net to reclaim your space or get a better trash service today. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Voices singing, let's be jolly, deck balls with balls of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
10:32. Welcome back on this Monday morning. You know, always great to see Deborah and the Madison County Mental Health Board, Katie, in the studio right now because this is exciting. So in June of this year, the the Mental Health Board approved funding for East Alton-Wood River Community High School for teen mental health first aid instructors training and a little bit more to that. And now we were just talking before we came back on, and this has just gotten over its first session.
Yes.
How did that
we
go?
We certified our first 45 students, all sophomores, in their health education class. And I think it went really well. My fellow coworker, Susan Caraway, the school psychologist, after the intensive training that's required for it, of course, we had a wonderful time with 6 different sessions with the class. 55-minute per session, and they were just energetic, fun. I think they really took in a lot of stuff from the training, and it actually opened up our guidance office and had a lot of students come to our guidance office more.
Well, that's
yeah,
huge.
So it really did. Mm-hmm.
Well, and in your experience, does it seem like making that first step for a student to really go into that counselor and say, hey, I'm going through something? Is that tough sometimes?
That's huge. That's one of the main goals of the Teen Mental Health First Aid is to break down that stigma.
Yep.
You know, make sure they understand it's more known and common for people to be dealing with a mental health challenge. So the first step is just going and asking for help. So that's one of the basis.
Well, and Katie, if you don't mind, take me through your background a little bit and what led you up to this
Oh my
this
goodness.
part.
Okay, is there only 15 minutes? Oh, no.
No, we got anytime you want.
No, I had previously worked with Chestnut Health Systems in the prevention department.
Okay.
Loved those 12 years. That's where I got to meet Deb. And it was a fantastic experience with them. Then became a stay-at-home mom. Wanted to get back into working with youth. I did miss that aspect. I mean, I love my kids, but, you know, I liked working with teenagers and youth and see what we could do to help them. And I just came across a position that was open at East Alton-Wood River, and I've been there for the past 3 years.
Really great. And then, Deborah, and your side of things, how great is it to see schools starting to adopt this, number one, but also the opportunity for a lot of other districts around Madison County to implement this as well?
We are so excited with the work that Katie's doing there at her school. And yes, we want to grow this. As Katie was mentioned earlier, we presented this to the superintendents of Madison County at one of their meetings, and that's how she got linked with it. And so we know that Edwardsville District 7 is looking at it. They're not quite far along, but they're looking at that as well.
If they have any questions, you know, they give me a call.
Then you just call Katie and Deborah. We'll take care of it.
We'll do it.
Well, and to me, this is such an important thing. And just because you handed me a little bit of a brochure here and just looking down and no, I don't know all these things off the top of my head. I need some help. But the one thing that kind of sticks with me is 1 out of 5 teens will experience a mental health challenge. And to me, and this is just me being kind of the outsider looking in, past high school 7 years now, it seems like that's what leads to a lot of long-term issues and a lot of, you know, maybe some substance abuse or maybe some type of help to get you through it.
Yes.
And what are some of the things just in the time that you've been at the East Alton-Wood River School that you've kind of noticed that this is really an issue that we need to address and have these classes?
Right. Well, one of the main things we do try to address is getting help sooner is better.
Preventative maintenance.
Preventative maintenance. You get it sooner, you find your coping skills, your core people. That helps prevent a long-term situation or allows them to cope later on, obviously, into adulthood. But what we're seeing is like anxiety, stress happening, and of course, just the inability of finding maybe the go-to valid resources, because of course we live in a world of social media. So helping the students understand who are the important adults, who are the ones you should go to, and that it is just it's breaking down that stigma and making sure they do know that what you're going through is not uncommon. As you said, 1 in 5.
Right.
So if you're sitting in your classroom, 1 in 5 could, experience something of this nature, and there are people and places and resources to help them. So.
Well, and whenever you're going through your first session and you're going through all this, you finally got all the registration done and all that fun stuff. Were you surprised by the reception that you had?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm one of the things I'm really proud of with East Alton-Wood River High School is their openness and their work towards breaking down the stigma. And so some students were very just open and comfortable and willing to take in the information, and others, I think it did kind of open their eyes if they were a little nervous about such a topic. But that is one thing that I'm very proud of being a part of at East Alton-Wood River High School is that consistent opening, break down the stigma, we're here to help, etc. So.
And Deborah, too, on top of it, to have somebody like Katie, I mean, you have to be meant for the role. And I'm not patronizing you at all.
Please.
But you really have to be made for the position. You have to love it. You have to live it. And for you, in your perspective, Deborah, how's it to have someone like Katie, to be kind of leading this? You're the first school that's doing it in East Alton.
Yes.
That's got to put this program on a great step forward.
Absolutely. And those are my words exactly, as you have to have the right person, the right personality. And working with youth, that's a challenge, just being relatable to young people today. And she's got that type of personality that she just jumps in, goes with it. And from appearances from what we saw Friday, they loved the program and shared their own information about it.
Really great. And Katie, take me through that first session. So maybe don't give us the whole rundown, but could you break it down in an overview?
We'll have to edit. Well, the first session is making sure that they're comfortable. We tell them, again, if there's anything that's uncomfortable, please make sure you leave the room. We understand. Go to guidance. We have support. But the first session is basically down to the basics of what is a mental health challenge, how many people experience that, and what are some identities to a mental health challenge. So it's a very basic opening intro. We have some icebreakers, of course, to get kids comfortable and just kind of get to know myself and my colleague, Susan Caraway, the school psychologist who teaches it with me, of course. She's awesome. But it's just kind of a basis of this is what it is and this is what we're going to go into. So the first session's a very nice introduction.
Really unique. And then talking about registration, you said that there were some pretty tedious requirements for this one.
There is. For a school to even apply to the instructor training, they have to have 10% of their faculty and staff population be trained in youth mental health first aid.
Wow.
Which is different. It's the adults learning how to handle a youth mental health challenge or crisis. And so luckily we have a very passionate school district, and so we were able to hit that mark well and beyond. Teachers came for a 1-day, full-day training. So in the summer, they took a day, came, and were trained, and therefore we were able to continue the application process. So that's part
amazing.
of it, yes.
Well, and Deborah, we've talked about this before on this show about where it starts, and it starts at a young age. And
absolutely.
When the Madison County Mental Health Board is really putting boots on the ground in terms of this type of programs and having these resources, that's got to be a big hopefully curbing a big percentage that you could help before it gets to a prolonged, or even a worse of a state that you guys encounter at the board sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did want to say that the Mental Health Board funded Denise Bradley, who was instrumental in doing the training. She is certified in doing the instructor training for teen mental health first aid, so she's a resource that's out there to assist with that as well.
Wow. Well, it's amazing to know that but the Mental Health Board is helping fund some of this, so that way we could really get this accomplished. Because if we aren't going to do it until, unfortunately, there's always somebody that says, well, what could we have done to prevent this? Just like this. I mean, this is how.
It's one of our 1 and 3 year strategic plans for the board, which by our mandate, our government mandate, we have to do that. But certainly, just again trying to use our resources wisely, and it didn't cost us that much. That's the thing.
They funded
the
us,
bang
and
for our
thankful.
buck is just training 2 instructors and some handbooks is what it cost us investment wise. So
3-year investment. Books for the kids, any sort of resources and background for that. So we were very thankful that they were able to fund the program for us too. because it's part of our strategic plan, and they just kind of aligned. And so it was a perfect merge to kind of bring this to the school.
On top of that, it's really great to see a win-win agreement, because sometimes it seems like the backer or the organizer or organization that's backing it's taking on all this extra, but to hear that it kind of just fell perfectly into place.
It was a great partnership. Yep, perfect partnership.
And Katie, in terms of the district as a whole, what's it mean for them to be one of the, spearheaders in this, because you guys are the school doing it?
Right. Oh, they're excited. They're excited. They're proud to say, okay, we're doing this for our kids, and we're proud of it to bring it here. And we want to be a pilot. We want to be the ones that help other people grow from it, take our pros and cons about it, our learning abilities and our experiences, and we hope to see it in other schools. But we're very excited to be the first in the county, 100%.
Right on. And then before we take our break, so I can pay a bill before we get out of here, I got to ask you, just because another thing is about 65% of teens don't, seek help whenever they're going through challenges. And to me, what you're doing is so important, because hopefully that's going to break that down to where just go in and say, hey, I'm having a little bit of a rough day, and not be scared. Are they going to call home? Are they going to call X, Y, and Z? Because that is a fear that people have. They don't want mom and dad knowing they aren't doing the best. And so with this, are you really hopeful that this helps really combat and drive that percentage down?
100%. 100%. We think with the teens that we're trained, that are first aiders, they've been taught how to look for warning signs, how to properly ask questions, and how to direct them to an adult. So that's one of the main, they're not there to diagnose or treat. They are there to help recognize the symptoms and then open up that door for that person. And I think the more skills that our students have and the more confident they feel in those skills, they'll be able to reach out to students who might not otherwise do so.
Yeah.
And then, of course, direct them to people that they feel comfortable with, especially like me and Miss Caraway. We were with them for 6 times. So, again, opening that door, and I do think we're going to start seeing more kids not feel stigmatized and feel more comfortable coming in and getting help.
That's a huge, and then what you said too is not diagnosing anything or anything, being the doctor. Because if you do that, then all of a sudden that individual that might need the help is going, you're not going to tell me what the hell I have, and there's all those things.
And that pressure too for the teens. We want to relieve that.
Yeah.
Their goal is just to get them to a resourceful adult.
This is great.
Yeah.
It is great.
We were excited.
This is really a great 100% over.
Absolutely.
And I think I was talking to the boss upstairs over the weekend, and I said, last year Christmas week, it's hard to find guests because people are moving 100,000 miles an hour, and the week afterwards don't even bother. Let's just tape some shows. But I wanted this year to have a really strong end, and this is a great way to really start off the last week of live shows for us, is talking about this, because it's very important. And, I think to really be out at the school level and really start talking to younger kids and really exposing mental health in a great way to them, and saying you can reach out and there's resources. And Madison County's Mental Health Board has so many. If you go on their website, on the county's website, you'll find every one of them there. And Deborah, before we take our pause, out of the years that you've been with the board and as executive director, what are you most proud of in terms of growth? Because there's been so much happening really in terms of Madison County and mental health board as a whole that it's probably going to be hard to pinpoint one.
Yeah, it is very difficult, but we have been trying to make inroads with schools. That's important. Children are important. Criminal justice is another area where we've been very strong. But really, education, training, and awareness. I think that's like on the bottom ladder.
Yes, the foundation.
It's the foundation where we build everything else. So we've really been trying to, like, the resources and information about where to go to get help, but also about mental health and how we can have different approaches and programs and services to address the things here in Madison County.
Without a doubt. So why don't we do this? 10:44. We'll take a quick break. Can you hang out with me?
Sure.
Let me pay one last bill here. We're going to pay one quick bill, and then we're wrapping up Monday with just a continuation of a great conversation right after this on RiverBender.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit Alton-Toyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
With their treasures, hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all the bustle you'll hear.
Welcome back, 10:47, 13 minutes left on this Monday morning for me. Actually, I got a couple more hours after. You know, that's the biggest thing. Before we go back to the interview, every time I get done with the show, I think my workday's over. And then I realize it's just getting started, you know?
It's early and it's Monday.
Like, why didn't I do a damn night show, you know? Well, just getting back to this, I mean, I hope people realize how amazing of an opportunity and resource this is, because number one, to take the leap of faith and be the first school to do it and be the first group is always a challenge.
Right. Yes.
You're always got to be the guinea pig somewhere, right?
Yep.
But now, I mean, it's to a point where we were talking a little bit about the E word, the beautiful E word of expansion.
Yes. So we'll be moving on to 3 classes next semester. So we should have roughly about 80 to 90% of our sophomore class trained. And again, as we said earlier, it's a 3-year program where I'm an instructor for 3 years certified. So each year from here on out, we will most likely be in the health education classes because every sophomore has to take health.
Okay.
And so our goal is to have, at the end of 3 years, 3/4 of our school trained in teen mental health first aid. So again, the masses.
This is so amazing because it's not only is it understanding and identifying maybe when one of your fellow classmates or coworkers, wherever down the pipeline you're going to use this, because it ain't going away. It'll stick with you forever. It really, to me, it goes to that critical thinking component, too, of students. So I think that everyone's kind of losing over the years is that let's critically think here. Why is, John Doe over here maybe acting a little bit differently?
Right.
Maybe I can put some thought into this and see if I can go at least say hi and say, hey, if you need to talk, I'm here. If you want to go, do something.
Right.
I think that's really what goes above and beyond what anyone could really, do on any type of billboard. It's that really on the ground, hands-on work to teach critical thinking and compassion.
Right. And what I liked about this program is they keep it simple with a lot of information, but simple with the look, ask. It's very direct. Look for the signs, ask some questions, listen to them, because listening is a skill. Find an adult for help, and then, of course, follow up with still being their friend. Those are the basic steps for a first aider, and just those simple, but can be difficult for teens, but simple steps can make a world of difference for somebody.
Without a doubt. And, as we were talking, too, if anyone's interested to reach out to you about, maybe any questions, hey, I would really like to get this going at our school or school district. How did you start? What was the process? How high did you have to jump when they told you?
How much training? Yes.
Is there a way that people could reach out to you? Or?
Yes, they could give me a call at 618-254-3151, and my extension is 2535. Katie Venvertloh, it's a long name. If you just ask for Velo, it's fine, it'll work. They'll know who. And my email address is kvenvertloh, VENVERTLOH @EAWR.org. But just call the school and ask for Miss Venvertloh, Miss Velo. And also Miss Bubbles. I think you heard some kids call me that too. So just ask for any of those names, and I will definitely help answer any questions that they have.
So that's fantastic. And since you came back to the workforce in East Alton, did you think that you'd see this much growth and change in such a short period of time? Because it is a pretty quick turnaround for something like this.
Actually, yes. I did. I had a lot of faith in the schools to kind of start focusing on those and building that, especially as you mentioned earlier, after the past couple of years.
Yeah.
The COVID that people like to not really mention anymore, it was an impact. And I think coming in and meeting the staff and the administration, I knew I was coming into a school district that had a passion for it and wanted to see change and wanted to provide help. So I did. I was very optimistic.
On top of COVID, too, I mean, people didn't really talk about the aspect of the mental health on the students and other things, too, like in terms of domestic violence and things that were going on at home so they couldn't escape from. But my cousin was in a Zoom class, and it was, I think, 3rd or 4th grade, and I'm just kind of at that point, maybe 2nd, I don't know. I was sitting there and I just wanted to observe it just because I thought, well, what the heck are these kids doing on these Zoom classes? If you were a teacher during Zoom, you should be entitled to compensation.
Yes,
100%.
Yes.
I mean, 100%. But you really got to see, though, that other perspective of things, too, because in that Zoom class, you got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly all on camera, and it really opened my eyes, and that's why I'm glad that we have programs like this to start instilling it earlier and earlier. And we have Deborah at the helm of the Madison County Mental Health Board to make sure that we can have those resources in a lot of ways, too. And, Deborah, we're talking a lot about prevention, but unfortunately for some, prevention only is good for so long in certain things. Then it gets into crisis mode. What are some of the resources that are available and that you could share with us today?
Right. And again, we've gone through a major transformation nationally, state of Illinois, and locally. And some of our communities are still trying to figure that out on the local level. But CESA, which is the Community Emergency Services Act that came into play, kind of brought in a couple other factors, and one of them is our mobile crisis response teams, and those are out there. And I just have to let you know that in the last 6 months, 430 youth have been crisis calls that have come in on youth with the mobile crisis response, needing mobile crisis response. That's a high number of youth. Some months it's been as much as 89 youth that have called for help. So there are kids in crisis. And then 988, we can't stress enough that call, and I know Katie shares that with her class as well.
The last PowerPoint,
Yes, in her PowerPoint. So we're both on the same line with that too, is that here's a number to call. Maybe you can't reach a youth or you can't reach a teacher or your trusted adult, but here's a hotline number that you can call, and there's someone on the other end to listen and to direct you or link you with the mobile crisis unit or whatever services that you need locally. So this is extremely, extremely important. We actually had one suicide death this year in Madison County of an adolescent 14-year-old, and we don't want to ever see that happen again. Anything we can do to prevent that. And again, I still believe in the prevention.
100%.
For so long, investments always go on the high-end kids, and we need it there. But then if we never start doing the preventative on the front end, we're going to always see it on the high end. So kudos to Katie and the school for taking that first step out to make this a reality and to make this work for youth.
Well, and I'll second that, because you always see it, and I'm not picking on anybody, but it always comes off as it when they replay the show. But whenever you look at districts, sometimes they always use a buzzword as mental health. And I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves is do not use mental health and training as buzzwords. You got to have action. You got to have action plans behind them. But to see that East Alton made the plunge and really turned out very beneficially, it seems like, from all aspects. I hope that more school districts realize that there are ways to really put this into action and not just put it on our slideshow for the board or put it on some type of press release, but to really do it. And I'm really just in love with all of this. And Deborah, is there anything else I need to hit on today?
I think those are the big things that I think I felt that if we could share with the community at large and any other schools out there that might be listening.
This thing working today. We'll get somebody calling you today, and I really hope so. And going back, Katie, I mean, this is great. You're meant for it. You can tell that you'll live this, and I hope that more and more schools that do adopt these programs find 4 or 5 Katies, because we'll be in a hell of a lot better place with it. I can tell you that much.
Well, thank you.
With that being said, it's 10:55. For now, we'll say goodbye goodbye, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays,
Same
whichever
to you.
holiday you celebrate.
Yes.
And for all of you, you can't go anywhere. We got a couple of minutes left of a show right after this in the heart of the 618.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Melikilikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you.
10:58, welcome back. I love that song. I don't know why. It's such a terrible song, but I like it. You know, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it for Milana Malakiki Naka. I don't know how to say it, but I'm in it. Hey, community members were in for a surprise. A few lucky customers surprised with $20 of free gas on Saturday, December 16th, courtesy of Mustache March for PD. MM4PD is a local nonprofit that supports police departments in honor of late police officer Blake Snyder. Every year, they choose a day to surprise customers at Hit and Run with free gas, and they give away over $2,500 worth of it on Saturday, with the help of Hit and Run owner Dwight Fowler and gas distributor JD Street ZX. MM4PD gives each person $20 worth of gas until they run out of funds. They choose to do this at Hit and Run location this year, located at 2345 State Street. With approximately $2,500, MM4PD provided gas for around 125 people. For more information about the event or to see pictures of it, and for more information about Mustache March 4PD as a whole, you go online to their official website to find more information. I am out of time, but I know I'll see you tomorrow, live at 9 for more of our daily show. So on that note, have a good start to your Christmas week, but most importantly, you know, just try your best to stay out of jail.